Alrighty then, hello again, people. We're back with tutorial part 2. This is ThunderTube. And this episode we're going to actually establish a colony on the moon. We've figured out in the past exercise what all these fancy windows do and how to find those floating rocks outside of Mars orbit. So let's build a colony on Mars. Now, this mission here we have with Japan to deliver them a colony consisting of 36 colonists. That means that we will be building this colony and then giving it away. So, we, of course, we're going to be cheap about it. Scrunch as much as we can out of the nice money they gave us. What we do is select the moon. We press establish a colony. We get a cute information box here that we need to choose where. I would say definitely stick on the light side. If you go on the dark side, you're screwed because you don't have the technology to power the base during nighttime. Solar panels, it turns out, do not work during nighttime. You can see the resources change here, the density, depending on where you want to place your base. Not a big concern for a base that you're going to basically give away later. But for your own base, when you're going to set it up, that'll be critical. So I'll just slap this in this nice mare over there. Let's call it New Scania. Nice, we have founded it. And ignore the tourism tab for now because we're not going to invite them. That'll be a tutorial in itself. Then we go to station. So now we're switching view to the actual colony where we'll start our construction projects. And one important thing to consider, both building bases and stations, is hold off on the crew until you're really ready to accommodate them. It's not critical per se, but it does reduce the amount of headaches you get. So the view hasn't changed much. We still have a status window up here with the resources and whatnot. We can hide that for now. But now we have a warehouse icon, shows us the contents of our storage basically, with some filters and the very nice buy button, as well as production, which we'll go into later as well. You can jump back to the solar system. If you have other stations, they pop up here so you can jump to them and you can hire staff here. So we can only build one thing at the start. That's basically the same, whatever you build. You start up with that unlocks the next thing and so forth. So the process is almost the same. Pick the landing site. We try to find a suitably flat piece of area. There we have it, turns green. I want to have several of them from the start. They're not that expensive and they speed up deliveries. Let's just go there. Boop. And then add another one. See if we can get a spot nearby. This can sometimes be really annoying. Otherwise we'll just go with one for the tutorial, but I do recommend at least two. Yeah, let's drop one over here as well. There we go. And now we've unlocked solar panels, but we don't have any materials. As you can see here, it costs 7 solar panels and 2 components and grants us 240 power. The output will vary, of course, naturally, with which body you're building on. So building on one of Jupiter's moons will definitely give you less solar power. So we need to buy components, or actually solar panels and components. Hit the buy button. Components. We needed 2 for each panel, but we're gonna need components for basically everything. So let's go with 500. And solar panels, let's go for 200. That you can also, of course, hold the mouse button and scroll, but I find clicking once and typing is a lot easier. We do need a lot of other stuff as well, but I'll just order that first. There's no real penalty for making several orders instead of one big. Then you can see here, 1 shuttle on the way, 15 minutes time. So we're gonna set the time on slow. And while we're waiting for that shuttle to drop, I'm going to buy the rest of the stuff that I know we need. We need ferrous metals, non-ferrous metals for the batteries. So let's grab 500 of those. And we also need oxygen. That's good to have, I've heard. 1,000 of those. Lamps. Yep. Go for 500 initially. 100 motors. I'm just pre-buying this. Like I said, there's no real penalty for buying too little. Simply make a new order. As long as you don't have crew on the ground that can get annoyed with you. No big issue. So 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. First shuttle should be coming in for a landing. And then you can see there's an additional 3 on the way. We can speak about the state at the moment. It shows red when there's an issue. We have no power production. We have good enough coverage. This is basically the rating of how much percentage of a full day-night cycle we can power. And since we have no load, we're at 100%. Here we are, first delivery. Materials will be dropped off when they leave. We have a red icon here saying that there's a queue of shuttles. Since we have 2 landing spots, but there are 3 shuttles waiting, well, there's a queue. Or actually, there are 3 shuttles in total, so 1 is waiting. And we have no crew. This one is for our solid storage, and this is for liquid storage. So this one should change when we get our oxygen now. And all materials also changed. Get some storage here with the shuttle. Great. So now we have some items in our warehouse. Woohoo! Thank you very much, Space Delivery. So now we start to build our actual base. We start by solar panels, of course. We can only build solar panels. Putting them in the shadow is not a brilliant idea. If you're in a crater, you can put them on the rim, for example. You can place them very far away, basically anywhere. You don't have to pay for increased cabling. So depending on your map, you may want to find a high ridge, for example. I just placed them here because I like this view. And you can hold shift to place multiple, which I'll do now. Hold shift, click. But then the next one is red. So, why can't I build more? Well, let me show you why in the beginning. Because you have worker drones that require power, basically. So now, since we don't have any power, they have to recharge, I guess, with their own built-in solar panels before we can build the next building. So we'll have to do a bit of waiting there. No, not buy. Best way is basically to build a battery next, which has been unlocked now. And you can, of course, fast forward instead of waiting for that ticker, which I'll do when I build this one. We'll let that charge up. And there we go. So now, numbers have changed. We are good to cover 63% of our daily cycle, 1 day plus 1 night. We need more solar panels. So now we can go bananas here. Place the lot. I don't think they shadow each other's, so yeah, you don't really have to place them optimally. And go. They turn automatically to the sun. Nicely done. I really love these small details that they've really spent a lot of time on detailing the models. I am suitably impressed. And now, since we built that many, of course, we have to wait for the recharge again. So just fixing the power first, that gives you less headache later. Okay, 2 batteries. I guess that's what we're building for now. Heading back and hopefully finding our landing site. There you are. So now we have unlocked some other cool stuff. Storage in these is limited, of course. So we can plop down a liquid/gas storage. Gives us a lot more room for that. Then we have outdoor lighting, not that it's needed now. We've got a couple of weeks or at least several days until it gets dark, but we need foundations. Or actually, we need one foundation because the entire base doesn't need to be supported yet. And you can see here that the slope hides it until it pops up one level. We are going to build a medium-sized base. I'll just go for the first one right there. Go. That'll be kind of the that'll be the airlock on that, and then I like to place one in front, which we then place a walkway on, like that, to allow entrance to the actual airlock. Because the stairs, as you can see, they are always placed to the side. You can rotate with E and Q to see the different options you have for that square. Let's go with that one. Then the actual base building begins. We can select one of the different types, or actually cosmetic look of the different we have here to choose from. Basically just a matter of taste. They do cost a bit differently, which is kind of strange because it is only cosmetic. I'll go for the top one here. When you select that, you get an option up here to select the actual room type, and for now we can only build an airlock. So airlock is active, we place that on the free one, and when we do that, the next batch of items are unlocked. Now you can see we have also got hallways up here. And I can continue building with the one I selected, or I can choose a new design. Let's do that just because we can. That one, fine. Hallway is selected. That unlocks a few more things. Let's build a semi-short hallway here. Go. So now we have an airlock and a hallway. To finish construction, just to take a look what we've accomplished so far. Hide the construction tab because it's big. So we can see the interior of our hallway. The nice windows. The airlock is right now very much lock and not so much air, since there are no doors, something I also found out the hard way with the first base. So what you need to do before you forget is actually add doors. Since I have a broad patio here where we can have our sun shares and whatnot later, we can build a nice big double door. Smack that there, and we choose the other looking door for the inside. They are only difference is cosmetic. If you build a double door and put the stair directly there, they will have problems entering. You'll have to go for one of the off doors in that case. So that's why I do like this. So now we have an airlock, a way into the base. Hooray! We can pause because yes, why not? And now we need to start building on what we agreed to deliver. So we can check because our memory is really bad. 36 colonists. That means I need to provide work and housing for 36 colonists. So just going to go the most cheap and simple and dirtiest way I can, because yeah, you can do better then and feel like you're great persons. So we need living quarters. Click that one after selecting what you want it to look like. Okay, let's choose something different because yes, we can. So that one. Living quarters. No, living quarters. That happens a lot. You think you have living quarters selected, but you build hallways. That's not a big problem. You can always delete it. So I place that down, unlock even more stuff. And here we have the dismantled buildings. If I select that one, I can remove rooms. Sometimes you get resources back, sometimes not. So we'll simply go with 1. Okay, yes, I know. We already got those unlocks. 2. And there we ran out of resources. Okay, so now we can see, what did we run out of? Okay, we have components and lights, but we lack oxygen. 12 oxygen per room, basically. Righto. Finish. Go to our nearest space convenience store and we buy another 1000 units of oxygen. We will need more lights. We will need more components too. Later on, when you have several spaceports around or on the body you're working on, they'll pop up here so you can select who to deliver. Right now it's only Japan, so we don't have a choice. Ooh, we need a nice decor plant also. There we go. Now we have to wait for that delivery. Pro tip, actually start the time. And since we're doing a tutorial and are a bit short of time, let's speed through that. So basically what I'm going to do is build 36, it was 36, right? Yeah. 36 apartments, link them all together in one big nice chain and shove a bed in each. That's the bare minimum that is needed. There we go. Thank you, Space Delivery Corp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 36 would be very long, so let's go double-decker apartment. So, and there we ran out of components. I mean, later on, you get a feel for how much you will need to start a base. You'll always go wrong anyways, but yeah, I mean, get better at estimating how much you need. Make a big order there. While that is delivering, let's close the construction panel here and look inside. You can see they created a different floor with walls between. So we need to make some way of reaching the top floor as well. Place the doors. I like to go with these for all my living quarters because blue shiny lights. Note when you place half doors, where you click matters. If I click on the right half, door ends up there. If I click again, door gets removed. If I click on the left side, door ends up on the left side. If I click again, door gets removed. Good to know. So let's place doors all the way here. It's here from this angle. Okay, and we're out of components. Yeah. Good thing we got a delivery. What a coincidence. Thank you very much. So it goes down there. You can do a lot of microing in this game, which good. But it can also get a bit tedious when you, for example, want to build a base with a crew of 100 or so. You have to individually design and decorate all the rooms. You have to manually assign the occupants as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So there's a lot of repetitive clicking needing to be done. But, I mean, that's one kind of fun as well. Getting it just so. Now we have a nice room solution where the guy in the back here has to walk through all the others rooms to get to his. You can imagine there will be a lot of cursing and yeah, crankiness. Maybe that'll be fixed later down the road. Maybe not. We'll see. Doesn't feel like a priority at the moment. There we go. So now we have 36 apartments smashed up. Let's go into actually seeing how you build the interior of those. I'm gonna pause so we don't hear the rockets. We can close the construction pane, and then we simply click on the room we want to do interior design of. See, it pops up, apartment. And you can build a few objects inside here. This also expands when you build the other rooms, like the restaurants and the science center unlocks other stuff, but we need only the basic here. One bed. That's the bare minimum for an apartment. As far as I've noticed, the crew doesn't really care yet if they have other furniture. The bed is the necessary part. Maybe someone out there knows if it actually gives any bonuses to their happiness if you have wardrobes or the nicer beds. Yeah, who knows? 36, that's pretty bad for a tutorial actually, since there's a lot of simple grinding away in placing these beds. So actually I think I will I could speed it up, but I don't have a good method for that yet, so let's just place a few beds like this, you know, get the basic principles, and then actually do the finishing later. So, I mean, there's a sofa and some cabinets and stuff. Then you can assign staff. Now we don't have any staff, but you get to choose who lives where. So what I need to show is how to build stairwells. That is a useful talent to have early. I wish I knew. We go and select something for our hallway again, and we stack them. Going 3 wide, I find, is a good number, or 3 long, I should say. Then we go into the actual hallway, click the hallway, then you get the hallway construction where you can place, well, some furniture, sofas and stuff. You will need those. Those are like the temporary resting places for people that don't want to go to rooms. You can also build food and drink vending machines. They use rations to feed the crew, and kind of consider them emergency food. When your restaurants are not working or something has failed with the bigger food supply, your rations, they keep your crew alive. But they're not very happy with eating them. So then we choose stairs. And as I said, you can rotate with E and Q. So let's put it on the side away from the actual doors. And you need to have space in front of the stairs. So putting it here would not be a good idea. So that's why I said 3 in a row. Place that. Then we have this one, interior floors, or interfloor floors. You can smash them down. They will adapt to the stairs. You can also actually place them down in advance, creating these interior floors, and then place the stairs. So, and then we get a nice interior stairwell. There. To remove a stair, you have the stair tool, hover over the correct square. There should pop up a remove icon. Maybe I need to put time running. Yeah. See, remove block. That will remove the stairs in that block, usually. So now there's a way to reach floor. We need to add a door. Still go for the single door there. So, enter it. Awesome sauce. So that's how you build interior decks. If I were to expand the hallway sideways here, make it too wide. You see, it fills the area with air. So I could either have it like this balcony with a high roof area here, or I could add more interfloors to create another floor here for relaxing and chilling and whatnot. Lots of options to do here. So you can really spend a hell of a lot of time simply just building the base to your liking, which is nice if you like to do that kind of thing. Or you just do this quick and dirty, done, sell it, be on. On with the next one. So, living quarters, basically done. We need work for all the poor guys and girls. So if we select a room here, we can see here that we have now unlocked, of course, we know about hallway, airlock, and living quarters. Now we have cafes. One cafe for each nationality. The ones who prefer Russian cuisine, American, Chinese, and European, Indian, and Japanese, of course. So we will need a Japanese cuisine cafe, of course, for this colony, since it will be crewed by Japanese. So let's plop down a minimal Japanese cuisine here, and we ran out of light bulbs again. Grab 1000. We're probably gonna run out of components as well. And we're probably gonna run out of oxygen as well. Optics. Yeah, maybe. Do that for now. We of course need a door to the cafe. Let's go for a small door again. Oh, now we have no stair. Good. So in the cafe you need one kitchen unit and you need seating. There are some There we go, delivery is done. Oh yes, kitchen needs heating elements, of course. Heat-resistant composites. Don't need a lot, but I'll grab 100 of those. Order. Done, diddly. Oh, wait, what? Oh, yeah, okay. That's a good point. Warehouse is full. So maybe start with a warehouse also to be able to receive all this. Warehouse box thing. They're pretty simple. Unlocks a lot of industrial stuff. Usually, if you go for a simple box like this, 2x1 finish, enter it. From the start, you have some small shelves and stuff. This one grants a good combination where you can furnish it very detailed. But we have the big 48 ones. Where do they go? We have shove one of these in there and then not worry about storage for quite a while. You don't need a door in there either, because nobody accesses storage. Secret place where you can be alone. So with storage placed, we now have lots of free space, and I have forgotten what I needed to order again. Boink. Yeah, now you can see it went from full to 18%, so we're good for quite a long time with that 48 unit storage. And while we're waiting for the cooking heat-resistant polymer equipment, we go back to the Japanese cuisine. We expand it. Let's go for 2x2. I find that's a nice minimal good layout. You can do 1x2, but it gets really cramped and you'll probably get some pathing issues. Let's get a big nice table, shove it into corner here. Let's put the kitchen over here. There are a few kitchens to choose from. They all produce 1 unit of food per hour, so there's no real difference there, but there is a larger one that can that require 2 chefs, but there's really no point in using those since they still produce the same amount of food. Right, so our heating equipment. Oh, circuit boards. Silly me. Let's go for 100. 100. You. Buy. while we're waiting for that, let's hire a chef. Go to the staff. We can hire a robot, cooks, and farmers. So there are no humans that can farm or cook yet. So we hire one robo chef. And we can speak of the crew hiring, of course, but then time won't pass, so let's not. Basically, there are a few different crew categories: manufacturing, research, mining, medical, and biotech. So 5 different professions. And yeah, to get a nice functioning base when you build your own, you need a good combination of different professions. But for this base, we can, again, be a bit weird about it. So let's shove the kitchen in there. And that's basically our Japanese kitchen done. So in this room, our robo chef, who has arrived now. Sad you can't name them yet. That would be nice. Or can you? Oh, no. I would like to name them. You can click the room. Just like any room, you can assign staff. You see we have 1 available, 0 of 1. Click that. Now we have 1 of 1. Hopefully, Mr. Roboto there will make his way, or its way, to the kitchen. Anytime. And you can also check what you need to actually prepare those meals. Here, when we click the room and go down and mouse over the kitchen, yeah, you can see on the right side there that it needs water, rice, and fish to prepare 1 meal. So 3 water, 9 rice, 5 fish. We're 1 meal. So before we forget that, again, let's buy fish, water, and rice. So that's done and delivered. That's a good thing to note too, that Mr. Robot Guy isn't trying to get to his workstation, but that is because he doesn't have any ingredients to work with. So that's why they are kind of like just moping around. So whenever you see a crew or a robot moping around like that, either in there or somewhere else, it's 99% of the time it's either a pathing issue or, more likely, is out of some material. For him, for example, no fish, ingredients to cook, so he'll just wander around. For crew, yeah, the same goes. If they can't mine, if they can't craft, they'll just wander around randomly or do other stuff. And it can also be a pathing issue. If I were to block that door, he would also wander around like that, but you would probably get a warning, so. Right, here comes our electronics. Our food, rather. So, kitchen is done. Now we need to provide work for 36 humans. Righty then. So, looking at what rooms we can build here, we have the 5 professions. We have industrial, where we can build, well, industrial equipment. We have med bay for treatment, research labs, and the bioengineering. So med bay is good to have. I mean, people are going to get sick. Let's build small med bay that can occupy 2 doctors. Need to try and keep back here what we need. So 2 docs. That's enough. Then one of the easier things to fill, I mean, laboratories, they are pretty easy to fill with crew, but they take a lot of space. If you want to just put a lot of characters in meaningless work, or yeah, you could of course roleplay it, we can build a large industrial sector and basically fill it with, well, 34 robot repair stations. Let's do that, because yeah, silly. Downside of not using separate is that layout designs, cosmetics for the rooms is Kind of hard to distinguish, but I did it right. Apart from that third floor up there, but be gone. So starting with the med bay here, we crammed in. Make double EMT doors. Whoops. Remove that. And also put a nice entrance into our manufacturing there. Med bay. We get the pop-up here. We can build surgical tables. We need composites. Order that. Let's go big. We probably need steel as well. Oh crap, yeah, we do. Of course we do. See what we need to build in here then. Yeah, like I said, we can build robot repair tables. They need a lot of LED lights. And you can see their personnel required 1 cog, so that's 1 crew member with industrial specialty. Composites, 1 crew member. Ice smelter, 1 crew member, but it's pretty big, requires a 3 tall room. Critical for your own base, not so critical when you're going to give it away. But the robot repair table takes very little space. We can basically shove them in here. All 2 of them before I ran out of motors. So motors, composites, circuit boards, and a hell of a lot of lights. Lamps. Let's go for 2,000 lamps. 1,000 more components. And oh crap, what was it more? Circuit boards, motors. 1,000. 1,000. There we go. 3 million down the drain. I mean, the pay is pretty generous. We're down to 13 millions of our original 20-something. We could, of course, finish other missions. Research mission is 1 day away, so maybe that wasn't a good strategy to choose before building an actual research facility. Four shuttles incoming. Well, now we're getting some nice deliveries here of critically needed material. Let's continue building our robot repair shop. Or I said... Why did I do that? Yeah, so again, I could drudge through that, building 32 of those or 34 of those, just to get the number of workers complete. Let's pretend that I just did that. We have living quarters for 36 also. Let's pretend we do actually have that. We also needed to have work for them, so this colony will be only industrial type guys. We have gotten delivery of equipment or ingredients. Now you can see he's at station there working. So when we go to hire now, you can only choose Japanese since there's only a Japanese starbase nearby on the moon. We don't get to choose. We get a random allotment. We don't want miners. We do want 2 hospital guys, but the easy way here is just spam the flag here until you get the crew you want. And oh, there's our medic and 2 of our industrials. Accept that. Down. Industrials. And then we'll have to spam this until we get 3 industrial. I mean, this could take quite a while if you're unlucky. So maybe I don't recommend going full crew like this of one for quite a while. Sit here and go through. I mean, I really hope, Alexander, that you'll make it so that you can simply choose the crew you want. This is really pointless. And there we have another medic and 2 more. Now we have our 2 medics. And I mean, if you hire people and you want to send them back, if you want to fire crew, that will cost you some penalty with the country that you are attacking, basically. So you don't want to do that unnecessarily. If you have other stations and bases, of course you can simply move crew to other places without actually firing them. Okay, let's see here. Okay, I think I'll not do this. I'll actually go for that, the last one. We fast forward until we get them delivered. So now we should get a nice influx of crew, just to show you how to manage them. Here we go. And we'll hit pause. So they're milling around here. Close this window, and now you can see we have 6 unemployed staff. I can click that and scroll through each crew member. Unemployed. See their statistics. It's good for when you need to find them. Right now I basically know what they are work with. So we go to the industrial and staff. We have 0 of 8 slots filled, so you 3 guys, you're hired, work there. We have our med bay, which cannot have any staff because we haven't built the surgical tables. I think this will cause some pathing issues, but hey, we'll see. Know about that as well. Now we can order assign staff, put our medic in there, go. Do the same for our apartments that we built. And here's the thing that could get tedious when you have 100 or so colonists that needs manual room assignments that you really don't care about. So now 2 of them do not have room assignments and 2 of them do not have jobs. That would be our miners. Also, they're whining about nowhere to sit. This is where hallways come into business. We have only 1 sofa in our hallway, remember? So we could plop down more sofas. No. Row them out there. See if they actually enter. Follow you, Wendy. Yeah. Will you figure out how the door works? Will it work? It works. Another door obstacle. Okay. And we're through. These suits magically vanish. So you see they rest here because there's no real work to do. There are no robots broken. So they will just chill, go to eat. You should also build a recreation room pretty early. Yeah, and put in some VR stuff there to give them entertainment when they're down or they'll get sad. You also need a power room. Let's build that next to the kitchen. This is also a critical component which has a robot power site. The robots, of course, need to charge. For that we need 52 cables. And I suggest also building a door. Maybe he'll implement that someday, that robots go berserk and bust through walls and stuff. That'll be neat. This, on second thought, this was not an optimal placement, but cables can be moved and rotated after. Very nice. Robot power charger. Now he can get some nice charging there. You can manage robots. Select how often they go charging, for example. If we set the maximum rest, he's going to charge a lot sooner. And where, that's what fixed by the industrial guys. Now cooking, yeah. Command, this is used for transferring to other locations, but now of course we don't have any other locations, so yeah. And like I said, this is what happens when they don't really have anywhere to go or do. They just mill around randomly like they're stuck, but in this case it's because there is no actual job, unemployed. And there's nowhere to sit, so there's no way to go. If we assign them jobs, all except poor Lisa, then they should possibly snap out of it. 11 people have nowhere to sit. It's a disaster. We need to improve our storage to survive the coming night in several days away. Happiness goes down, of course, when they don't have rec centers or food. Food stock is low. That's a bit strange. They should be able to have food. Chef is working. Door is there. It is accessible. Well, yeah. So what you do when you have fulfilled all requirements and there can be no like hunger issues or such down here, you go up here, let me close all these little windows, and you have a nice transfer by contract button. Clicking that will tell you what's needed. And if you have fulfilled everything, clicking that will take you out into the solar system view. And then you'll have the chance to click it again. And it will show you, yes, this will transfer it to Japan. You will complete your contract. There will be much rejoicing. The station will disappear from your list here. Okay, I can't see it here since I only have one, but it'll disappear from your management basically and become another spaceport for Japan. So I done time warped a bit, and I finished the construction in New Scania so that it is actually transferable now. So basically what I had to do in the end, let's go take a look. That having one single type of crew on the base is a pain in the ass in itself. So I went for industrial and miners, since both of those are easy to supply with work. Miners are basically the simplest. I mean, you can support an infinite number of miners basically. So we can see the filtering here as well. If I choose that, mining, we see that we have 6 miners. And out here we have 6 mining devices. 5 of them are simple ore miners, the basic pilot drill, 1 crew. One thing to note here is this is what they drill. Every tick, it's, I think, randomized, one of them, or possibly that they tick one at a time. You can uncheck. So now this drill will only mine noble minerals. Presumably that will yield more noble minerals, since it doesn't have to split its yield among the others, but I haven't tested this. Mining drills, and then I also placed 1 well that extracts water, if that exists, which it doesn't on the moon, there's only ice, and helium-3, tiny bit. And then assign staff, boom, all miners have jobs. And the way you build those outdoor mining equipment is here in the construction tab. Here you have pilot drill for drilling, experimental well for the well, and you have atmosphere extraction as well, and surface extraction from those are the basic industrial mining type equipment that you can build from the start. And then when you research, you get bigger versions of them basically. Right, we don't need to do anything more out here. Nobody's eaten yet because they haven't gotten hungry yet. I had to satisfy the requirements for seating. All 37 inhabitants need their own personal sofa to rest in the lounge. This looks like great fun. And of course, there's no job for those guys in here or for the medics in the medbay, so they're just sitting around. There's no VR center heller to entertain them either, so but that's not gonna be my problem. So now all the rooms have beds, and they have been assigned to their respective crewmen manually by clicking each one, up, going assign staff, and choosing as a group. We can see he's already sleeping. Very quiet. Yep, so this is the bare minimum for a base that I can now deliver to Japan. There are no outstanding issues, really. Show you these. The power stuff, I mean, that's not my problem. They'll notice when it gets dark. By the time I'm long gone. Impossible to pass object. Yes, there should be many of these. You usually get a few fake warnings. This time it's a bed on the bottom floor, this bed. You can get... They disappear when you click them, but if they reappear, that's when you need to kind of have a real look at it. Maybe this was kind of a warning. There might be an issue here, but it could also be another pathing issue or whatever. It's gone. It didn't come back. Fine. No other alerts like lack of seating. That's good. So now we can basically go transfer contact and then finish this contract for Japan. Great rejoicing. Transfer colony, blah, 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 will become a spaceport. Yes. I don't get anything for this, possibly some reputation. I already got paid, but the mission is completed. I can now focus on my next mission, which will be building spaceships. Woohoo!